Hello, my name is Madam Jennifer from Educare TZ. Welcome my lovely Form 3 students in our proceeding biology lecture series, and we are currently proceeding with our topic on the coordination, where we have already covered on the first subtopic, which was the concept of coordination, the nervous system in humans. Also, we are proceeding with the structures of the neuron. Also, we have already seen that the neuron, this is a structural functional unit of the nervous system. So also we have already discussed on the types of the neurons, the adaptation to their functions. So now in our today's session, we are proceeding with this concept of the neuron, and we are going to discuss in a little bit on the concept of the nerve impulse. When you talk on the nerve impulse, this is the electrical signal that travels along the axon. As you already see that the axon is one of the organ which is used for carrying out the nerve impulses from the cell body to the central nervous system, either the spinal cord or the brain for the interpretation, and after that is there for it to bring the information to the effector organs so as to take a particular response depending on the detector or the detected impulse. So now we are going to discuss a little bit on the concept of the nerve system, also of the nerve impulse. Also we are going to discuss on the concept of this nervous system, the main nervous system, which is the central nervous system, and the peripheral nervous system. When the central nervous system, we are going to discuss on the brain and the spinal cord. Also we are going to discuss on the peripheral nervous system, which is all the system that work, with the exception to the one which are found to the surface of the brain and spinal cord, with the exception to those which are found within the spinal cord and the brain. So when we talk on the nerve impulse is the electrical signal that travel along the axon, and these signals are produced when the nerve cells are activated. So this signal can be transmitted along the axon once they have been activated. They have been activated by after the interpretation of a given impulse that has been delivered by the motor neuron to the by the sensory neuron to the central nervous system, so as to be interpreted. So since the nerve fibers of the neuron is not in direct contact with that of the neuron with another neuron, so there is a gap at point where axon terminals of one neuron are in association with the dendrite or cell body of another neuron or an effector organ. So as we discuss on the structures of the different types of the neuron, where we see that we have three types of the neurons, which is sensory neuron, relay, as well as the motor neuron. But when you look on this structure, you get that there is a gap separating between the dendrite of one neuron and another. So in that gap which is found there is known as the synaptic junction or the synapse, which are the one which you use to relay the information to the effector organ. So there is no direct contact, kuna kuwepo na small gaps there kwa ajili ya kuweza kurelay those information. So since the nerve fiber of neuron are not in direct contact with that of another neuron, there is a gap at the point where axon terminal of neuron are in association with the dendrite or cell body of another neuron. Kwa sababu dendrite ndio tunasema kwamba kazi yake ni katika collection of signals from different sense organ or sensory cell, na inakuwa ina direct kwenda katika cell body. Baada ya cell body ina be carried by the axon kwenda katika central nervous system. So, and this is called a synapse, and this gap is called a synaptic gap or synaptic cleft. So ile small gap ambayo imetenganisha one neuron and another neuron, dendrite of one neuron and another, inakuwa inaitwa synaptic gap or synaptic cleft. So let us discuss on the central nervous system. Wao tumeshaangalia kwamba the central nervous system, kuna central nervous system pamoja na peripheral nervous system katika nervous system in human, na tumeangalia kwamba the central nervous system is made up of two main organ ambapo ni brain pamoja na spine. These are the major control in the body of a human being. Kwa the central nervous system kwa kifupi tunaita CNS. So eneo utakapona hapa CNS, know that ni kifupisho cha central nervous system. is the part of the nervous system consisting of primary brain and spinal cord. So this is a part of the nervous system that contain primary the brain pamoja na spinal cord. So the central nervous system is made up of the brain pamoja na spinal cord. Kwa hiyo utakapouliza kwamba mention the part of the central nervous system ni hizi main two. So the central nervous system is named because it integrates the received information, it coordinates and influences the activities of all parts of the body. So it is called the central, meaning that it operates all the bodily activity in the body, in the body of the human being. Kwa nini? Kazi yake katika integration of the information, inasaidia katika coordinate, that as a control center or the control unit, ambayo kazi yake ni katika processing of the received information so as to provide appropriate response to a particular received impulse. Na vile vile katika influencing the activity of all part of the body by giving the appropriate response. Nasaidia either mtu aweze kukimbia, mtu aweze kutembea, mtu aweze kulala and other activities. So it is composed of mass of nerves, and the central nervous system analyzes impulses received and determine what action should be taken in response to stimulus. Kwa kazi yake vile katika analysis, katika interpretation, in short tunasema interpretation or analysis of received impulses which has been detected by this sense organ, ambayo tunazijua there are 5 main sense organ, ambapo kuna skin, eyes, ear, nose pamoja na tongue. Na baada ya kuzianalyze inakuwa ina determine the action to be taken depending on those analyzed or received information. So the spinal cord serves as impulse conduction pathway. Lakini spinal cord tukiachana na brain ambayo kazi yake katika interpretation, spinal cord yenyewe inasaidia katika impulse conduction, katika kusafirisha this impulses kwenda katika nerve system, kwenda katika brain na kuweza kutoa kurudi katika this effectors organ. So the nerve impulse transmitted by the spinal cord are relayed to the brain. So that's why I say that the spinal cord do function as a conduction pathway for this nerve impulse. The nerve impulse from the brain are sent to the spinal cord and impulses are transmitted to the effectors organ. Now, let us discuss one of the parts of the central nervous system, which is the brain. So, the brain, as you see, this is one of the control center which function in the analysis of the received impulses so as to provide a required response or determine response pertaining that particular received impulses so as to make sure that the action which is taken is correct depending on the particular received impulses from the detected by the sense organ. So the human brain is specialized organ that is responsible for thinking, memory, storage and coordinating the function of many body organs. So hapo unaona kwamba brain inakuwa ina coordinate all other bodily activity. Kwa mfano kama katika kufikiria, katika memory, katika kutunza kumbukumbu, katika storage kuweza kuhifadhi, na vile vile katika coordination of different function of the bodily organ kama control center au unit center. So in case kama mtu ataweza kupata any damage katika brain, meaning that atakuwa interfered kwa katika activity yake, atakuwa anaifanya, anaweza kufanya activities lakini sio in efficient way. So the brain make up the largest portion of the central nervous system, and it is delicate and is encased in the skull where it is protected by the cranium. So the brain make up the largest portion of the central nervous system na ni very very delicate. Ubongo ni moja kitu ambacho very very delicate ukiangalia structure yake, na imekuwa imefunikwa ndani ya fuvu. Katika vitu vyetu kuna fuvu after nyama, kuna fuvu ambayo ni skeleton ambayo imekuwa imeprotect the brain, na pale kuna ina be protected by the cranium ambayo hapa ni moja ya hard tissue ambayo inasaidia katika protection of this delicate organ ambayo ni brain. So the brain is housed in the system of membrane called the meninges. So meninges is where the brain has been housed or has been kept there so as to ensure that it performs in different bodily activity to a particular animal so as to ensure that the coordination of different bodily organs function in appropriate way. So The human brain enable a person to think and reason and perform complex physical and mental activity. So the brain is only organ which enable or which are useful in the thinking, in reasoning, also in performing complex physical and mental activity. You can't perform any activity without involving your brain. Ubongo wako unaweza kusaidia kujua kwamba hapa kuna shimo unatakiwa uruke, yule pale ni nyoka, pita huku au kimbia, yule pale ni simba. Without unasaidia kuweza kufikiria, kuweza kudetermine, no, that is a lion, so what can I do now? Unafanya pale analysis. What can I do now? Maybe nipande juu ya mti au nikimbie au nijifiche kichakani. Au no, this one ile hapa ni shima au ile pale ni mtu, maji yanakuwa yanatiririka pale. Brain inafanya thinking, kisi nikienda nikadumbukia pale nitaweza kufariki kwa sababu kina ni kirefu. That is all about the brain. Okay, by performing this complex physical activities, kunyanyua sijui vyuma, kazi ngumu hizi lazima uinvolve your brain, lazima utumie. Kwa mfano beba mizigo mizito, lazima utumie bongo, lazima utumie your brain katika kuweza kufanya judgment, ujue kwamba huo mzigo nikibeba kiolela naweza nikapata madhara. So where can I place it? How can I handle it? Katika mental activities, kwa mfano reading, kazi intellectual activity, kusoma na mambo mengi mbalimbali ambayo yana involve akili, kushona, na these soldiers wanakuwa na wenyewe wanatumia the brain katika kuweza kujua kwa locate, hapa kuna adui, hapa kuna sindano, hapa kuna this particular issue, how can I perform it? It's all about the function of the brain. So the brain also coordinates simple reflex actions. So vile brain inakuwa ina coordinate this simple reflex action. Hapo tunazungumzia simple reflex action ni zile autonomic, automatic, yani zile rapid and automatic process ambazo zinakuwa zina take place very rapidly na unconsciously. Kwa ni zile activity ambazo zinatokea kwa haraka na kwa muda mfupi na unconsciously without the involvement of the central nervous system, ambao ni au inaweza kuita ni voluntary action. So a reflex action is a rapid and automatic response to a stimulus. Kwa mtu anakuwa na respond. Just take an example, mtu umeona simba, ghafla tu unajikuta tayari kama kwa hata kuna shimo mbele yako tayari usharuka, unajua umerukaje. Hapa ni reflex action. Kwa unajikuta una take a rapid response to a particular event that has been taking place. Na unakuta mtu ameona, yani amefanya kitu ambayo mwenyewe anabaki anashangaa, ili kitu nimeifanyaje? So this is about reflex action ambayo inasaidia katika kuweza kumprotect the organism katika any danger and other activity. So generally the function of the brain include the receiving impulses from all sensory organ of the body, na vile interpreting the message and sending off motor impulses to glands and muscles and storing the information. These are the major function of the brain, ambayo katika receiving of the impulses detected by the sense organ which is delivered by the sensory neurons. After there ni katika interpretation of the message, kuweza kujua kwamba this message inakuwa inamaanisha nini. Kwa mfano kama mtu alikuwa ghafla tu accidentally bila kujua kaweka mkidole chake katika sindano bila kujua accidentally, ghafla ataweza kupull up mkono wake. Hapo ni baada ya interpretation ya brain kwamba upeka mkono wako hicho kitu ni ncha kikali, so pull up away your hand so that you can be safe. So this, na vile baada there ina send off motor impulse ambayo tunachukua ile response kuweza kupull up a hand away from that particular sharp object. Na vile katika storing of information, uhifadhi wa kumbukumbu wa taarifa. In case kama tutakuwa na mtu unaweza kutunza kumbukumbu, tutakuwepo katika danger kubwa. So this is also one of the importance of the brain in the body of the human being or in the body of any animal. So it's also associated with various stimulus from various sensory organ. Vile inasaidia katika association of various stimulus from various sense organ at the same time, na kuweza provide appropriate response. So the association center and motor area coordinates body activity so that the mechanical and the chemical action of the body work efficiently. So the mammal's brain consists of the three main parts: the forebrain, the midbrain and the hindbrain. So ubongo wa mammals naangalia katika classification, mtakapokuwa form 4 mtaangalia classification mammals. One of the characteristics of the mammals ni they wanakuwa na production of the mammary gland. So these mammals wenyewe wanakuwa katika ubongo umegawanyika katika sehemu kuu tatu, ambao ni ubongo wa mbele, ubongo wa kati pamoja na ubongo wa nyuma, ambao ni hindbrain. Sasa we are going to discuss on details on concerning these main parts of the brain, their function, their structure, and how they are adapted to ensure that the person bring appropriate mechanical and chemical action to a designed stimulus. So this is the structure of the human brain. Hii hapa ni structure ya ubongo wa binadamu, as you see here. Hapa kwa ndani, hii hapa nyeupe ndio ubongo wa binadamu, hii hapa ndio ubongo wa binadamu. Alafu huko juu ni fuvu ambao ndio skulls, ambao kwa ndani kuna these tissues ambao ndio meninges, ambao ndio brain inakuwa inapatikana. Alafu humu kuna cerebral hemisphere ambapo ndio kuna cerebrum, na vile vile kuna this cerebral spinal fluid ambao ni katika protection of this brain. Ndani ya ubongo vile vile kuna majimaji kwa ajili ya protection. Na vile vile kuna middle brain ambao ndio ubongo wa kati, kuna cerebellum ambao ni ubongo wa nyuma pamoja na medulla oblongata, zenyewe zinakuwa zina form the hindbrain. Alafu kuna hii hapa spinal cord ambayo inasaidia katika conduction pathway ya nerve impulses kwenda katika brain for the interpretation. Na vile vile kuna this pituitary gland ambayo ndio located hapa before the hypothalamus, ambayo ndio master gland. It is called the master gland kwa sababu it control many bodily activities. Na vile vile kuna this hypothalamus ambayo vile vile ni muhimu katika regulation. Tumeangalia the roles of the hypothalamus katika temperature regulation. Vile vile that is all about the structures of the human brain. So now we are going to discuss one part of the human brain after another. By starting with the first part of the brain ambao ndio forebrain, ambao hapa ndio ubongo wa mbele. So tunaenda kuangalia ubongo wa mbele umetengenezwa na components gani. Hizo components na function gani katika kuweza ensure the coordination of the different bodily organs to ensure that they function in an appropriate way. So the forebrain, this is the anterior part of the brain, and it is composed of the olfactory lobes which are connected with the smell, and the cerebrum which interlink impulses and coordinate responses. Kwa the components ya forebrain au the anterior part of the brain, ubongo wa mbele sana sana ni katika mambo ya kuona. Ubongo wa mbele ukiangalia zenyewe inabi composed of this olfactory lobe. Olfactory lobe yenyewe inahusika na mambo ya smell, mambo ya kunusa harufu, detection, kuweza kujua vile, kwa sababu inabi na coincide with the smell. Na vile vile cerebrum, ambao cerebrum inasaidia katika linking of the impulses na kuweza kuprovide au kuweza coordinate the response. So this makes the brain more efficient because it increases the surface area of the brain and the amount of neuron within it. So these all two components of the forebrain inasaidia brain kuweza kufanya kazi kwa ufanisi zaidi, na vile vile kuweza kuongeza surface area for the brain kuweza kufunction more efficiently na kulingana na kiasi cha neurons zilizopo ndani yake. So the cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. The cerebrum is the largest part of the forebrain, ambao it is divided into two half, ambapo kuna kwa zinaitwa hemisphere, na the two hemispheres are connected by nerve fiber and are in constant communication with each other. So ukiangalia katika ubongo wa binadamu kuna ubongo wa mbele, ambapo kwenye ubongo wa mbele kuna this structure ambayo ni largest portion ambayo inaitwa cerebrum. This cerebrum ukiangalia be made up of two hemispheres or two halves, ambapo zote zimekuwa connected to each other, zinakuwa zina depend na kila mmoja anakuwa na function yake, the right hemisphere pamoja na left hemisphere. So the outer portion of the gray color due to the concentration, the outer portion ya cerebrum or the cerebrum ni gray color due to the concentration of the cell bodies of the nerve cell, and it is called the gray matter. Kwa kinga the outer portion ya brain may be made up of gray color due to the concentration of this cell body. Cell body, these are one of the component ya neurons ambao kazi yake ni katika collection of the impulses.